New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interests is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of the Act, the Hopewell Valley Regional Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published by having the date, time, and place thereof communicated to the Times and the Trentonian on January 6, 2021. This meeting notice was also sent to Comcast Cable and Verizon Fios. The board reserves the right to enter into executive session during all meetings of the Board of Education. The meeting is being videotaped for the purpose of board review, future reference, preparation of the minutes, and viewing on Comcast Channel 19, Verizon Fios Channel 32, and the school district website, www.hvrsd.org. Mr. Colavito, will you take the roll, please?
Ms. Driver. Ms. Grillo. Mr. Herbert. Ms. Linthorst.
Here.
Ms. Long.
Here.
Mr. Mason.
Here.
Ms. O'Reilly.
Here.
Mr. Sawicki. Here. Ms. Williams-Galliano.
Here.
We do have a quorum.
Thank you very much. Will you please join me in the flag salute? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I would like to request a motion to approve the minutes from our work session and closed meeting on April 12th, as well as for our regular and closed sessions on April 26th.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstaining? The motion carries. Thank you. We are going to...
George, do you need us to unmute or something? They should be able to hear us? Okay.
Should we check?
But I should be on mute. Okay.
Okay. I would like to... Yes. I would like to pass it off to Dr. Smith for the recognition of our staff retirees.
Very good. Thank you very much, President Linthorst. Today is a very good night for a number of reasons. Shortly, we'll be acknowledging our Echo Warriors, but first up, we are going to acknowledge our retirees who have, I think, Tana, did you do a total amount of years? 458 years of service to the Hopewell Valley Regional School District. So I can't thank folks enough for their work in our district and their commitment to our students. I'm going to turn it over to Tana Smith, who's going to kick off the presentation.
Good
They
evening.
can't hear. They can't hear anything.
They can't hear anything good.
No.
They're not getting anything from the live stream.
Are they hearing me at the
Hold
beginning?
on.
Were folks hearing me at the beginning? Is it just Tom's mic or?
They can't hear anything. Because Bob's on.
Do you want to try unmuting?
Oh, did they say yes?
Now I can unmute. All right.
I'm not on that.
They can hear. They can hear. All right, good job.
Okay, let's try this again. Tonight, we recognize the retirements of our staff members who have 458 years of service to the Hopewell Valley Regional School District. I can't thank you enough personally for your commitment to our students, and I cannot thank you enough particularly for your commitment to our students this school year. No one expected us to be at this point. But your leadership as veterans in our district really helped show us the way. So I can't, again, thank you enough for all of that. But without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Tana Smith, who's going to take us through the next step.
Thank you so much, Dr. Smith. Can everyone hear me?
No.
Is your mic on?
My mic is on. Do I need to join Zoom?
No, people shaking their head.
You can hear me?
No.
Okay, let's try this. How about now? Can you hear me now? Okay. Good evening. It is an honor and a privilege to present to the Board of Education for recognition our 2021 class of retirees. As we just mentioned, their total years of service in Hopewell Valley is 458 years. However, much more important than years of service is the incredible work ethic, dedication, and professionalism they have exhibited throughout their career, supporting students, staff, parents, and our community. Each of our retirees will receive a certificate and a gift in the mail that reads the following: for dedicating your life to the art and science of teaching, for practicing your profession with compassion and dignity, and for holding the well-being of your students as your primary concern always. Congratulations on your retirement from the Hopewell Valley Regional School District. Now, in the past, we would be meeting in person to celebrate our retirees and your incredible careers. Since we're unable to do that this evening, I have prepared a slide deck to recognize each of you. Dr. Smith, there we go. All right. Christine Abrams, 12 years, Supervisor of Counseling for the district. Jill Basho, 17 years as our technology trainer in the district. Donna Carriola, 30 years, art teacher at Timberlane Middle School. Katie Conlon, 25 years, teacher, Stony Brook Elementary. Rose Sortorsky, 15 years, paraprofessional, Tollgate Grammar. Carolyn DeMuzio, 28 years, teacher, Stony Brook Elementary. Beverly DeDurko, 18 years, van attendant, Transportation Department. Sar Dolbeck, 23 years, math teacher, Central High School.
Hold on for a second, Tana. I can't see your slides.
You're going to have to pause that.
Can we go again, Tana, quick?
Start from the beginning.
Can they see the slides here? Shall we check?
First Turnbull, can you see the slides? Thumbs up if you can see the slides.
Yes. All right.
All right, here we go, Tana.
Okay.
That was a dry run. These retirees are so important. We need to really-
Christine Abrams, 12 years, Supervisor of Counseling for the district. Jill Basho, 17 years, Technology Trainer for the district. Donna Carriola, 30 years, Art Teacher at Timberlane Middle School. Katie Conlon, 25 years, Teacher, Stony Brook Elementary. Rose Sortorsky, 15 years, Paraprofessional, Tollgate Grammar School. Carolyn DeMuzio, 28 years, Teacher at Stony Brook Elementary. Beverly DeDurko, 18 years, Van Attendant in our Transportation Office. Sar Dolbeck, 23 years, math teacher at Central High School. Rob Donovan, 25 years, art teacher, Timberlane Middle School. Lori Drake, 25 years, teacher, Bear Tavern Elementary. Liz Gutierrez, 13 years, administrative assistant, the board office. Amy Hale, 25 years, music teacher, Stony Brook. Judy Kelly, 25 years, secretary, pupil services. Mary Kriziak, 18 years, paraprofessional, Hopewell Elementary School. Tom Ledwith, 16 years, teacher, Timberlane Middle School. Marilyn Lilly, 19 years, German teacher, Timberlane Middle School. Lori Martin, 23 years, secretary, Tollgate Grammar. Lynn Rutledge, 22 years, secretary, Tollgate Grammar. Jacob Small, 13 years, bus driver, Transportation Department. Tom Smith, 12 years, superintendent of schools. Marlene Stevens, 21 years, paraprofessional, Timberlane Middle School. Scott Stallmuller, 18 years, counselor at Timberlane Middle School. Ida Valcarcel, 13 years, secretary, pupil services. So there actually is a little clapping. I don't know that you can hear the noise, but now's the time everyone can clap. The administration and Board of Education thank you for your service to the district. We hope you enjoy the next phase of your life, and while doing so, please remember to reflect back on the many lives you have positively impacted during your time in Hopewell Valley. We wish you all the best. Congratulations to all of our retirees. So I'm not sure, some of the principals may want to jump in.
Did some of our principals or others wish to speak? And if so, how do we engineer that?
We could possibly do that.
Give us a moment here. We're working through. Huh. The screen was there.
Yeah.
Where'd they go? Does one of our tech staff have any tips for Dr. Smith here on how to get back to the main?
The red stop share.
Stop sharing.
Stop sharing. But we want to see the principals.
Well, everybody that's on the Zoom will be able to see them.
Yeah.
Guess that's true, yeah.
So if folks want to speak, they just can unmute and speak. Should we be able to hear them? Anyone who would like to speak, feel free to unmute yourself and we'll try to go in turn.
Nope, Jane Ellen has a hand raised.
Jane Ellen,
We'll ask her to unmute.
would you like to unmute, please, and speak? She's speaking, but we're not hearing you, Jane Ellen. Hang on. Hang on. It means that we get to spend more quality time with all of you. We're not letting you leave that quickly. Just hang in there.
Plugging in different wires. Jane Ellen, you want to try again? Nope.
No. You can hear her. We can't. We cannot hear her.
Jane Ellen, can you talk one more time?
Yeah, now we can.
She's just coming through my computer, though.
We can hear you, but not the entire room cannot hear you.
I'm sure it's fine.
Oh.
I just want to say congratulations to all the retirees. We know what a special place Hopewell Valley is, and for all of your years of service. A huge shout out to Lynn, Lori, and Rose. We couldn't have made it through this year, much less even today, without all of your support. You truly are very, very special people here at Tollgate, and we will miss you very much. Take care, and good luck.
Thank you, Ms. Lennon. I believe Ms. Gianfretti has her hand raised as well.
To all of our retirees, congratulations, especially to our Timberlane retirees, Donna and Tom and Rob, and to Marilyn, we didn't see out there, Bethany and Joanne from last year. And just truly phenomenal instructors, but what's most noteworthy is your connections, not just with students, but with the staff in our building. We genuinely thank you for that. I wish you all the luck on your future adventures, and please stay in touch. Congratulations to you all, you'll be greatly missed.
Mr. Turnbull, would you please unmute?
Hello, and congratulations again to all of you. It's such an honor to be here sharing it with you, and congratulations on your careers. Really was a special place. But tonight I'd like to just thank Lori Drake specifically. And I debated whether I would come tonight because I'm still waiting. The state had stopped returning my calls because I'm vigorously calling them to try to get them to overturn her retirement. Make sure it doesn't happen, but I'm slowly resigning myself to the fact that it is true. But Lori taught my own son, and keeping brief, she is and will remain one of the best teachers I've ever seen. It's a pleasure to work with. She's a huge impact on our school and everything. So congratulations, Lori, and congratulations to all of our retirees.
Did we have any others that?
Yep.
Yes.
Chris Riley,
Thank you.
Principal Riley.
Principal Riley, would you please unmute yourself?
Congratulations, everyone. I really can't thank you enough for the amazing impact you've had on the district, the amazing impact you've had on my children over the years, and the incredible impact that you've had on me. A special congratulations to Sar Dolbeck. We will miss you terribly at CHS next year.
Mr. Wilfing, you're next on our screen.
Thank you very much, and congratulations to all of our retirees this year. Thank you for your service, and we have some very special people. I have some very special people leading us here at Stony Brook. I guess to echo what Mr. Turnbull said, it's time that I should probably read the retirement letters that you've left on my desk. I was hopeful that it was just a ruse, but this is official, I believe. Carol DeBuzio, Amy Hale, and Kate Conlon have been just wonderful human beings to work with and for. Over these past 17 years, Stony Brook is certainly deeply indebted to the three of you, as you've been there since the beginning and helped to lay the for future generations to come through Stony Brook. I can't thank you enough for everything you've done for the students in the district and at Stony Brook, and for me as well. I'm a much better person because I've been your friend for the past 17 years. So thank you very much, and best wishes. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
Mr. Frederick, would you like to speak?
Thank you, Ms. Lindhorst. I'd like to echo the comments from my colleagues. Heartfelt congratulations to each and every one of you. As I look on the Zoom screen, regardless of whether we work together, I know the incredible impact that you've had on students and lives, and we're forever grateful for your service to our district. A special shout out to Mary Krzyzak from Hopewell Elementary School. 20 years ago, Mary and I worked together. I was a teacher at Bear Tavern. She was a paraprofessional in my classroom. And the opportunity to reconnect with her and work with her side by side at Hopewell Elementary School has been incredibly rewarding. There's not a kinder soul around. So wish her and everybody else all the very best as you begin the next chapter of your lives. You've earned it. Congrats.
I don't believe we're seeing any other hands raised. I don't know if anyone else would care to speak. I would open up to any of the board members if anyone had something to share. Well, on behalf of the board, I would just like to say that, of course, we're very sorry to not have you here with us in person, but you are here with us in spirit. I mean, what an amazing class of retirees. You're going to be missed, and you should be so proud of your efforts throughout the many years that you've been here. We are very fortunate to have had you here with us, touching the lives of our students and your colleagues. It's just, you're a very accomplished group. I know that I personally am grateful to many of you for touching the lives of my children. You have made an impact, and the district certainly will not be the same without you. I would like to say, too, that given this last year or so that we've all lived through, I think you deserve an extra 5 years of credit for your years of service, because it has been quite a year, and you have served admirably, and we appreciate your efforts. So on behalf of the board, thank you so much, and we wish you all the best in your next chapter. Be well. And I also would be remiss if I did not mention that we have one very special retiree in our midst, Dr. Smith. Again, we will have time to say our goodbyes and so forth. We're not there yet, but the board very much appreciates all that you have done in your 12 years of service, and we appreciate the opportunity to work with you, to collaborate with you, and we also wish you the best in your next chapter, but there'll be more to come.
George, they can't see anything. Is that, the camera's not on? They're just seeing a black screen.
They can see each other.
Yeah.
They just can't see us.
Which is fine.
It's nice to see a number of you enjoying the outdoors on this beautiful day. There we are. We're back. Okay. Well, thanks again. Thank you all for being here this evening, and as I say, we wish you all the best.
We hope to see all of you at the June 16th HVEA retirement party at Hopewell Valley Vineyards, 1 to 3 p.m. You'll be getting the announcement soon.
Thank you, Mrs. Hale. Okay.
Retirees, you're welcome to stay on for the entire board meeting, if you'd like, just to stretch out your retirement a little longer. Mrs. DeMuzio, if you want to hang out.
Thank you. We're going to be moving on in our agenda, and we're going to recognize a very short-term retiree, and that's our student to the board, Sheila Garrity. Sheila, we ask you to provide us with one final report before you leave.
All right, can you guys hear me okay?
We can.
Okay, awesome. Hello, everyone. Good evening. So for the last report I'm giving tonight, it's a very short one. Not too much has been happening in Hopewell recently. But just to start off, AP exams started about a week and a half or 2 weeks ago. And most of the exams are taken in school, either on like normal pencil paper or we're taking them digitally, on our Chromebooks. And most of the students I've talked to and my friends are grateful to be taking them in person, as opposed to, if you guys remember last year, we had some abbreviated versions, which were not the best. They were a lot shorter, and sitting in bed taking an AP exam is not exactly the best way to do it, I think. So taking them in person is definitely a lot better and helps students feel more prepared. So we're very grateful for that. And just last week, I believe, or earlier this month, junior and senior prom tickets went on sale. And that has garnered a lot of excitement from students, and a lot more students have more interest in going to prom just as we see the dates of the events get closer. I know I'm very excited for it. And recently, a lot more remote students have been choosing to come back to school in person. Right now, we have about 850, a little more than that, attending school in person every day. And teachers, I've noticed, are especially excited to have everyone in person. I know in some of my classes, we don't have any remote students anymore at all. So it's like a breath of fresh air that they don't have to like share their screen on Zoom or, worry if they're muted or something, because, we all have those technical difficulties. And in the realm of sports, a lot of sports from all seasons, like all throughout the year, are now planning their end of season banquets for around this time, just because there are less restrictions. So now we can have more normal banquets, more in person, as opposed to like a digital video or Zoom meeting or something like that, which is very cool to have a normal way to close out the season, even if the season itself wasn't as normal. That makes sense.
Yes.
And looking forward, we do have one event. It's called Bulldogs One Up. A senior at the high school is hosting a virtual fundraising event to benefit the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. So basically what it is, it's like a tournament style with video games. They're playing games, I think it's like Overwatch and Fortnite and other video games like that. And students pay to participate in them, and the winners get to take home prizes like gift cards and stuff like that. And the event will also be live streamed on Twitch so that other interested students can be able to watch when it is happening. And yes, that is it for me, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheila. Does anybody have any questions for Ms. Garrity? Sheila, I don't know if you would like to share your plans for next year, what you'll be doing after graduation.
Oh yeah, I am going to George Washington University next year, and I'm gonna major in computer science to start out. We'll see.
Wonderful. That's one of my alma maters, so I'm very excited for you and love Washington, D.C. I think you'll have a fantastic time and you'll do so well. We really appreciate all the time and the effort that you've put into sharing your reports with the board and for your composure and your time and for all that you do. You're an impressive young woman, and we really appreciate the fact that you've served us so admirably. So thank you so much, and we wish you all the best. And I
Thank you
believe
very
we
much.
have a parting gift for Ms. Garrity, correct?
Yes, the
Yeah.
parting gift will be delivered to school.
Wonderful. Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Clapping again. Okay. I am going to keep my comments brief so we can keep moving along here. Although I lost my screen, so just give me 1 second. Maybe it's gone. Maybe it's gone for good. Let's see. We need like music in between our technological interludes here. The flute, perhaps, yes. So I just wanted to provide a brief update on the superintendent search for folks. The search committee and the board continue to move forward diligently. We're meeting, my goodness, some of us almost on a daily basis right now. I'd like to thank everyone district-wide and community-wide for their participation in our survey. We received over 900 responses, which is fantastic. The vast majority of those were from parents of current students in the district, but we also received a number from our Timberlane students and our high school students, as well as from community members and staff. We had hundreds of open-ended responses that we continue to sort through, and we appreciate all of those. As you can imagine, here in Hopewell, we have a lot of involved parents and community members and students, and so we're getting lots of great advice, not only on our superintendent search, but on lots of issues that affect our district, and so we will make sure that they are all duly noted. We will be receiving additional feedback over the course of this next week in some discussions and focus groups that we'll be holding with different groups of employees. And we continue to welcome feedback from all. We certainly have our public comment sessions here at our meetings tonight. We also have a meeting next Monday night where we'll offer public comment. And we are reachable by email at all times and invite all of your feedback. The position was posted last week in all of the standard places. It has been posted nationwide, and we have received a number of applications. As I had mentioned in prior meetings, the board does have a lot of latitude with regard to the superintendent search based on our policy, and I think that's a good thing for the times that we're living in, given that we are in the midst of a pandemic still, and there are some extenuating circumstances. We've set an ambitious but reasonable schedule for ourselves because we're mindful that we want to be prepared for what promises to be a little bit of a different type of September. We've done a lot of research. We've looked at various ways to kind of go about searches. And again, given the set of circumstances that we're in, we feel that the process that we've set up will effectively provide for stakeholder input and will also honor the confidentiality of this process. So over the course of the next few weeks, we will determine our needs with regard to consultants and interims and that type of thing, but please know that we're working diligently and we will be reporting out the results of the survey just as soon as we've gotten those compiled. So thank you again for your input. And with that, I will pass off to Dr. Smith for his report.
Thank you. We have a presentation tonight for two things. One is to update the board on our environmental efforts in the district, and Carolyn McGrath is going to present that with some colleagues. But also, we recognize our student echo warriors, which I'll talk about in 1 second. But before we go there, I would just like to really give a heartfelt thank you to the teachers and staff of our district. Today was the first day that the elementaries and middle schools had a full in-person day in 14 months and 4 days. So I got to visit several schools this afternoon. I witnessed lunch at Timberlane Middle School. The administrators did a fantastic job organizing us, getting us ready, and the teachers were phenomenal and working through any issues that we had. I really feel strongly that going through the next several weeks with this will set us up very well for September. Our expectation at this point, and the governor echoed that today, is that we will be fully back in September. The governor went so far as to say that remote learning will not be an option next year. So we, again, are setting ourselves up well, I think, to work through some of the issues like lunch and classroom activities post-pandemic. But again, a huge thank you. I sent our staff a note earlier this afternoon just thanking them for their willingness and their work of getting us to this point. It really is spectacular of what they've done. As you heard, Sheila, the end of the year programs and plans are all moving forward. We met with District Parent Council this morning, which is the leaders of the PTOs for each school, who have been working very hard with all of our principals to make sure that our students have the experience that we would hope a Hopewell Valley student would have at the end of their school career, whether it be in high school, whether it be in 8th grade, and whether it be in 5th grade. A lot of creative, neat ideas, but they're all coming to fruition, and with the governor relaxing some restrictions, we should be in a very good place taking us out through the rest of the school year. Finally, before we move on to the environmental presentation, I would like to just thank the board for their support and guidance as we move through this year. We're not out of the woods yet, and I think we all want to be cautious as to these final steps, but there is light at the end of the tunnel. I ran into a 6th grader in the hallway at Timberlane Middle School who just came back and just said, "I'm so happy to be in school." And I think she echoed the comments of a lot of students that I've seen today. And as Sheila said, we're averaging, I think in all of our schools, about 90% attendance. So kids want to be back. Teachers are back and doing a great job. And again, I can't thank the board for your support and guidance as we went through this year. Every little baby step that we took, the board provided support and guidance for. So again, thank you for all of your efforts. Thank you to the parents who are working through all of this with us. And thank you to the students, most importantly, who really helped show us the way, gave us feedback of what was working and what wasn't working. So we're at this point really because of the hard work of so many different people. But again, I would just like to thank them all for getting us to this point. All right, without further ado, I'm going to kick it off to Carolyn McGrath, who is the unofficial president of the Hopewell Valley Green Team. I've elevated her to president. We didn't really have an election, but I think it's by default, so it's good. She kicked me off early in the beginning of the school year and took over leadership. So, Carolyn, are you ready? I have enabled screen sharing. So
yeah,
if you have
I'm
yours,
ready. Thank you, Dr. Smith. Thank you, Dr. Smith, and thank you to the board and everybody who's here this evening. We're going to be sharing a, Dr. Smith said, 10-minute presentation. So we're going to try and pack that full 10 minutes with an overview of what happened during Green Week. Green Week happened in April 18th to the 24th. And I'm going to be explaining Green Week as well as a small portion of the Green Week Planning Committee. So you're going to be hearing from me. I'm the teacher at CHS. Nadia Chaslow, who is an 11th grade student at CHS. Olivia Kim, who is also an 11th grade student at CHS. Helen Korvline, a STEM facilitator, elementary STEM facilitator. Dr. Vicky Blitzis, who is the STEM supervisor. Akansha Arvind, who is an 11th grade CHS student. And Dave Sherwin, who is the supervisor of language arts in the district. So without further ado, let's get started here. All right, are you able to see my screen? And I can't see you, so is that a yes?
No.
Not yet.
Not yet, okay. Let me try one more time.
There we go.
How's that? Good? Is that good? All right. So just so you know, I won't be able to see you. So if someone needs help, just put it in the chat. So, Hopewell Valley Green Week. So Green Week was organized in partnership with multiple sectors of the Hopewell Valley community. The Green Week planning group included Hopewell Valley residents as well as staff and students. And this is the list of the Green Week organizing committee. I wanted to talk a little bit about why Green Week happened. So we came together to respond to the urgent environmental threats that we face today and that younger generations have to face in the future. And we spoke to some of our young people who spoke to this issue, and we wanted to just share a little bit of this with you today.
When I think about the environmental problems we face, I feel scared for the future. My kids or my grandkids, it's not going to be very good for them considering the environmental issues that we're facing right now and that are going to worsen with time. I think that can become a very depressing experience.
We've spewed toxic chemicals into the air and into the water and into the soil.
There's so many animals going extinct.
There's millions of tons of plastic in the ocean right now.
And this has caused so many problems for not just for other species, but it's also caused so much harm to us as well.
My generation and younger generations are going to be really dealing with the environmental problems which have been created before we were born.
We can't take and take and take and then not give. It can't mend itself.
So we need to stop doing that quickly or our ecosystem will be destroyed.
We have to actually take action. We really have to work hard to fix this problem before it becomes something more than we can handle.
I think it's really important that adults address these issues and take steps towards solving them so that we don't have to solve everything.
So I think that if you could teach students about that before they get older, they can really make a difference.
So that was just a brief overview of some unsolicited comments by students. And that was the motivation behind Green Week.
So we developed a Green Week mission statement, which you can read in full on the website. And it states in part, as students, families, educators, educational support staff, and members of the community, we can come together as one Hopewell Valley to address the environmental challenges we face today. Envisioning an environmentally just and sustainable future is up to us. From climate change to plastic pollution, from clean air to water conservation, we have the knowledge to understand the complexity of these global issues, and we have the creativity needed to develop effective personal and community-based solutions.
Over the course of 4 months, the Green Week Planning Committee organized a week-long series of events. And you can see this on our website if you type in bit.ly HV Green Week, or if you just Google search HV Green Week, it comes up. The Green Week Planning Committee organized a week-long series of events that would take place both in school, after school, and in the community. And the focus of these events was environmental justice and sustainability. Green Week also promoted events hosted by local environmental groups as well.
Green Week received the support of many local organizations and many restaurants that had sustainable dining options or even a Green Week special dish. And Green Week was promoted through the public libraries, such as with this display at the Hopewell branch of the Mercer County Public Library. We partnered with several community organizations to develop Green Week events, including the Hopewell Valley Arts Council, the Outdoor Equity Alliance, Friends of Hopewell Valley Open Space, the Hopewell Valley Green Team, and other local sustainability groups and speakers.
We also highlighted the work of community and staff members at local universities, such as this talk on food systems and climate change by Hopewell resident and Rutgers professor, Dr. Xenia Morin, as well as a presentation on environmental sustainability education at TCNJ with HVRSD STEM coordinator Helen Corvalin and First Lady Tammy Murphy.
A large part of Green Week took place during the school day as well as after school in activities led by students and faculty. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the Green Week in the Hopewell Valley schools. Green Week lessons took place at all 4 elementary schools and included many outdoor activities, like gardening, tree planting, nature walks, scavenger hunt, nature writing, so many great activities that all of these friends were able to communicate and read and express themselves. They made things from natural and recycled materials. And I think all in all, a very successful Green Week in all 4 elementary schools.
At Timberlane Middle School, teachers and students took on a school-wide eco-challenge to understand the problem of single-use plastics and commit to plastic reduction. The Timberlane Green Team led events after school that included how to grow lemon trees, an environmental poster contest, and an eco scavenger hunt. Timberlane students and eco warriors Tabitha Webster and Lillian Brennan also hosted a presentation about sustainable fashion.
At CHS, Green Week included morning announcements from the Yes and Reimagine clubs, as well as class lessons in multiple disciplines. Students used TED Countdown talks to examine environmental ethics, explored environmental justice through watching and discussing The Sacrifice Zone, and explored environmental issues through world languages, as well as through art.
Outside of school, CHS teachers hosted a presentation discussing the failures of the recycling system, as well as ways to take on a zero waste lifestyle. They also hosted an interpretive hike at a local nature preserve. Nadia Chazalo and I hosted a presentation about biomimicry and design. And the Reimagine Club read some environmentally themed bedtime stories.
Green Week also included several main events that included a screening and a student-led panel discussion of the environmental justice film, The Sacrifice Zone, and this was also used in the classrooms. There was a community book read and a discussion of waste by Catherine Coleman Flowers. And there was a film screening and a panel discussion of Microplastic Madness. It was a story about student activism against plastic pollution.
Our final event of the week was the Green Week Forum. The Green Week Forum included student and alumni speakers, as well as a panel discussion with local environmental leaders addressing the question, where do we go from here? Let's have a listen to some highlights from that event.
What we are doing today will impact our world for hundreds, with thousands of years to come. This is why each of our actions is so important, and making small changes as well as making really big ones can really add up.
We can get electric cars and get better light bulbs, stop polluting the air. We can eat local and support local farms.
It's time to start learning from nature for our well-being and for future generations.
Let's not just see the value in protecting that beautiful tree or the animal, but also our community.
What we have to do is develop new forms of energy.
We collectively can invite people to be a part of this hopeful movement towards improving our planet.
Just additionally, I would also like to thank Mercer Meat, the Hopewell Express, and Hopewell Valley Neighbors, all who did an incredible job at, as well as FOVOS, at publicizing and promoting our events throughout the community. So thank you, and that's our summary.
Thank you, Carolyn. That was really well done. Are you, you're planning on this being an annual event, is that correct?
That's correct.
Going forward, yes. Well, congratulations. It was really well-planned, well-implemented week. Mr. Calavita is still upset of his loss for the trivia contest on, I think it was Thursday night or Wednesday night, Bob? He has a couple questions, Carolyn, that he wants to go back and revisit.
Dr. Smith, I also want to thank you. If I've not expressed it enough times for your support of our environmental efforts, both through the Green Team as well as Green Week events, we could not have done it without your support.
No. Thank you, but you are the driving force behind it. Now, as we transition from Green Week to recognizing, I think you're going to recognize a number of students from the Green Week video. We're going to recognize our Hopewell Valley Echo Warriors for the 2020-2021 school year. In our audience, our one person in our audience is the Executive Director of FOVOS, Lisa Wolf, I believe has certificates and other goodies that she'll talk about. But first, we're going to acknowledge our Echo Warriors for this school year. So give me 1 second. This is where things went bad last time, so give me 1 second. All right, I'm assuming everyone can see my screen. Here we go. All right, we have Echo Warrior. So the neat things about the Echo Warrior, these students were nominated by either parents, students, or teachers in their schools. So even in our elementary level, we have students who have set themselves apart from their peers in their commitment to our environment. So from the Bear Tavern School, we have Nathan Burgos. For our high school, an incredible tag team of students, Nadia Chasilo and Akasha Arband. You'll be hearing a lot from both of those students, I have no doubt. Phoebe Shoney from Hopewell Elementary. Tabitha Webster and Lillian Brennan, both of who were in the video, from Timberlane Middle School, another tag team. Ada Everett from Tollgate Grammar. And Ethan King from Stony Brook Elementary. These students, again, have really set themselves away from their peers and dedicated themselves to improving our environment. And I couldn't be prouder of them. I know that several of them were active participants in the development and participation on several panels during Green Week. So students, you've made us very proud. You have certificates and t-shirts coming your way. Lisa, I don't know if you want to say anything. I put you on the spot, but.
So, can you hear me? Good. So each of the Eco Warriors, as they have in past years, will receive two things. They will receive a t-shirt, which I did not bring with me today, but they will get them within the next week or so. And each one, and this might be even more meaningful, each Eco Warrior will have a tree planted in their honor, and they are invited to come and do the plantings with us, or they can just know that we had a planting. And it's part of the tribute donation program from Phobos. They will also receive a certificate, which I'm not going to open because they're all sealed, which the board members can see it, but you can't at home. It's a certificate, it's got a little tree of life charm, and inside it's engraved with your name. So I'm going to leave these here, and they will all be delivered. And just for the people delivering them, so you don't have to open them, their name is on the back, so you don't have to open each one to take a look. So that is what our Eco Warriors will receive. And I did want to say a couple things about Phobos and the OEA, but I want to let the Eco Warriors go if they're staying up and they're here for school.
Thank you, Ms. Wolf. I'll just say a few words to our Eco Warriors in case they're jumping off. I just wanted to say how incredibly proud we are of you, and maybe give them a round of applause. And I wanted to say I did get to see a number of you interacting during Green Week. Any time that we can have you folks at our meetings, it's a much better night for us. We love to see the students, and especially given your achievements, you really should be proud. Ms. Wolf might be proud to know that I'm wearing my bumblebee necklace, my pollinator necklace from Phobos tonight in honor of our Eco Warriors.
Can you tell them how you got that bumblebee necklace?
I answered a trivia question correctly. I really went all out. But seriously, I know. But in all seriousness, I just wanted to tell our Eco Warriors and any of the students that are on the call that, you truly inspire us. You're going to be leading the way on our environmental efforts, and we're taking your lead. So we are truly impressed by what you do and by the way that you're supported by your teachers and administrators. And so we thank you for all that you're doing, and we urge you to keep going. We're very proud of you. Thank you.
Hey, Deb, can I share one last thing?
Of course.
In addition to the t-shirts and the certificates for all of the Eco Warriors, we have one from Ms. Carolyn McGrath, too, the Chief Eco Warrior. Okay, so Bob, I'm going to put you on the spot. I sent you some emails that you might not notice.
I send the Tom.
Okay, so sometimes I come and I do an annual update. This will be a 2-minute update because we're going to keep it short. But I did want to tell you what we're doing with Phobos, because this week is a very special week. And I sent you 2 pictures. One was OEA. Don't show that one. Show the other one. So what I wanted to... Say that again?
I'm doing the Zooming through my computer, so
so you can't show the picture?
I have to open my email.
That's why I sent it to Bob. I thought he was our screen sharing person. Well, while you guys are looking at that, I will mention that this week, Phobos has donated 3,000 plants to all of the elementary schools throughout the district. Stony Brook, Hopewell Elementary, and Bear Tavern got them through a Xerces grant. If you want to read details, oh, that's right, you guys are still on, Helen. If you want to read details about it, some of the people who are on the Zoom call right now helped me write an article in this month's Hopewell Express. So, okay, yeah, the other one. So in this month's Hopewell Express is those three explanations of the 3,000 plants going in. In addition to the Xerces grants, Tollgate is also doing some plantings that were not a Xerces grant, and Phobos donated the plants for that as well. And we found out today, which is what I sent to Tom and Bob, that Tollgate is doing the planting. They're going to be planting all week. They sent us pictures of their students planting, and all of the students are going to be gardening all week. So maybe later you'll get a chance to see that. But anyway, all week, Tollgate students, K through 5, will be out planting their plants. At the other elementary schools, they'll be planting them next week. But like I said, 3,000 native plants going in at all of the elementary schools. That's pretty good. So that was for Phobos. And I wanted to mention a bit about the Outdoor Equity Alliance. So first, I wanted to thank the board members who participated. And especially I wanted to thank Tom, Bob, and Rosetta because they made our team look good. In your defense, those questions were really hard, and the team that won was what's Marjorie's background? She is in charge of ecology for Rutgers University. So she might have known a little bit about that stuff. But I did want to thank you for coming out and supporting us. I also wanted to specifically thank Deb Linthorst, who did not come out to do trivia because she didn't want to embarrass the administration, but she did send in a generous donation to the Outdoor Equity Alliance. So as thanks for that, I have brought you a t-shirt today.
Oh, thank you.
And final thank yous is, okay, so there's the Tollgate picture. And now I wanted to switch back to the Outdoor Equity Alliance picture. So the previous picture he brought up, it shows the current internship that we're doing. Our current internship has students from from Central High School, from the Pennington School, and from Trenton High School, all going to our local lands and working together. This is the second year that we have done an internship, which we refer to as building conservation through diversity and teamwork. And it's an excellent program. I will also mention that the Outdoor Equity Alliance continues to grow, and Dr. Rosetta Treese was on our strategic planning committee, and we have a lot of work going through with that. I have brought her an extra shirt, although she already has the full ensemble, so we have a small one for her. Finally, I wanted to thank Bill Herbert and Adam Sawicki, who are also supporters of Phobos, and I brought you shirts as well. So thank you. That's what I had, and I just wanted to give a final nod to say that the Outdoor Equity Alliance is about tying equity and diversity to green and sustainability. And we're doing a good job of that, and we got our start through concepts that we learned here while I was with the school board. So Dr. Smith has been very dedicated to conservation and sustainability initiatives, as well as diversity and equity, and I think that shows in the spin-offs we've had. So that's what I had. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Wolf. We appreciate your leadership over at Phobos and all of the community partners that supported Green Week. It was so very well organized. I didn't get to nearly as many of the activities as I would have liked, but the ones that I attended were fantastic and truly inspirational. And I would like to especially thank Ms. McGrath for leading the way, and Mr. Sherwin, and Dr. Politzis, and Mrs. Corvaline, and I know there are others. I hope I'm not leaving anyone out, but we really do appreciate, thank you. We really do appreciate all of your efforts, and the board will support you as you move forward. So thank you again for everything. And with that, we will move ahead in our agenda for the evening and into our public comment period. Oh, and actually, before we do that, I don't want to step on toes. Did any board members want to speak? I don't want to exclude you. Okay. Members of the public are invited to address the board on any matter for a maximum of 3 minutes during this portion of the meeting. When using Zoom for a meeting, individuals who would like to make a comment are asked to use the hand raise function to alert the board president of your intent to speak. The board secretary will activate your ability to speak by unmuting you during public comment. You are asked to state your name, address, and municipality. In response to your comments, the Board of Education may respond or direct the superintendent to do so. The board may also opt to take up the matter at a future meeting so that the matter is researched by the district administration. I believe we still have the Google form up if we need to use that. There's a link to that in the agenda. And we do have a comment there that we will address. Again, when you do write, you're asked to state your name, address, and municipality. Written comments will be read for up to 3 minutes, and only 1 comment per public session is permitted. I don't know if we had any other members of the public that wanted to speak. We also have that opportunity available. So with that, public comment is now open. And I will, do you have the comment pulled up, Mr.?
Okay. The comment is from Kate Ham. The comment is, President Linthorst mentioned during her report about the superintendent's search that there would be focus groups. I heard the mention of meeting with staff members. Can you expand on how many focus groups you envision and what they might be?
So at this time, as you mentioned, and as I had mentioned, we are meeting with some of our staff, some of our associations at this point, to allow them to elaborate upon their answers to surveys, both the one that we issued to the community and some that they have issued internally. At this time, we do not have other focus groups scheduled, but as I mentioned in my opening comments, we will continue to evaluate all steps of this process as we move forward, particularly in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So we will let you know. And as I mentioned, we will also be sharing out the results of the survey, which, as I mentioned earlier, had given us a great deal of feedback to sift through and to share. But thank you for your comment. Did any other members of the search committee have anything to add to that?
No, not at this time, other than just saying thank you for everyone who did participate. I think it is important to note that we did get, not a ton, but quite a few comments from the general community, those that may have either had students that have passed through the district previously or are not currently without students. So we've gotten a really broad slice of insight from the community, and I think that we'll continue to, as Deb said, search through the many comments and summaries to glean insight, and we'll get back to you with the results. But thank you for all of the input.
Thank you. Any other comments in our Google Docs or elsewhere? No hands raised? I can't see it this time because I don't have the Zoom pulled up, so I... Okay. Last call for public comment. And with that, public comment is closed. Do we have any items of old business to discuss this evening?
Nope.
Oh, sorry. Do we have a hand raise?
Yes. Heather Irish Mott.
Okay. Ms. Mott, please, we're allowing you to speak. Please go ahead.
Hi. Okay, I'm going to do this right this time. Heather Mott, 9 Larchmont Court, Pennington, New Jersey. That's all right?
Very good. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
I got emotional about Tom last time. So, Tom, again, I'm still not happy, but, you know, I'll get over it. So I had a question about the surveys. I know we were just talking about that. You were just talking about them. Deb, I just want to ask, I was doing a lot of walking around, trying to get a lot of people who are not in district to do the surveys. I had to go to great extents to get them the surveys. And some people know I had a little hiccup health-wise, so I had to back off. Is there any possibility that you would look into opening that up again? Because there was a lot of people that didn't know. And these people have babies. Like I look as me with 12-year-olds being important, but if I had a 1-year-old, I'd be thoroughly invested in this. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I do. And thank you so much for your comment and your question, Heather. The committee will meet again tomorrow night, and perhaps we will discuss that further. We did really make an effort to have that link placed in numerous spots all around town, but I realize that, sometimes folks have difficulty locating it. We will see about reopening. I think that that's less likely. What is, certainly more likely, as I mentioned, is that, folks are welcome to email us with any questions or comments or concerns. We are happy to receive those emails. You might also encourage them to attend one of the meetings and provide public comment. We'll be meeting again next Monday evening, and would be happy to have folks either here in person or to raise their hand as you are now. Or actually, I think we will be on Zoom again for that one, correct? So yes, I highly encourage that participation, and we will reevaluate whether or not it makes sense to reopen, but I think that's less than likely.
Debbie,
Okay. No, I appreciate you answering that for me. I just had so many people asking, and like I said, I just had a little hiccup, couldn't respond to many people, and a lot of them have infants, and said, well, I hear this guy is leaving, and why is he leaving is phenomenal. Like, yeah, he is, I don't know, but if I had his personal number, I'd give it to you. So.
My God. I believe Ms. Long had a comment to make. She's a member of our search committee.
Great, okay.
I wanted to add to what Debbie said, that we did consider the importance of families with young children not yet in the district, and we made an effort to reach out through the nursery schools, and the nursery school directors did send out the link to all of their nursery school families. I realize that excludes people who just have, children who did not attend nursery school this year, but it did go out that way, and we did have it up on the Hopewell Township website. So we tried to reach everyone and give everyone the opportunity to do it. Unfortunately, we, I'm sure, missed some very important people, but I agree with Debbie. I don't know that we'll be able to reopen the survey, but to reiterate what she said, we would encourage emails or public comment. Thank you.
Thank you. That's a great idea. I'm going to go ahead and give that because, like you said, all of these people have babies, so they wouldn't get any of that yet. But I am going to do what you both said and tell them to go to the meeting. So thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Okay.
In the meantime, did we have any other hands raised? Or any other forms? Does not look that way. Okay, so I will reclose public comment. Did we have any items of old business? Then we will move forward with the consent agenda, all of those items that are marked with the asterisk. And I will ask Mr. Sawicki to provide a report from the Finance Committee, please. Oh, I'm sorry. I'd like to make a motion to approve the items on the consent agenda.
Motion.
Okay, Mr. Sawicki. All in favor? We'll do that first.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstaining? Motion carries.
Okay.
Thank you.
Can I have a motion to move the item on the agenda for finance facilities, please?
Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you.
Okay, so we had a meeting on May 3rd, and we wound up discussing several things that were on the agenda today. I'll just point some of those things out that have been approved now. For example, we wound up approving some work to go ahead and replace some of the audio equipment over at the PAC. So that was quite good. So thanks to the board for doing that. We're also moving forward with some of our summer facilities projects. So we had the paving award on there as well tonight as well. Beyond that, we had some discussions about things like we did our quarterly review of the expenses and such, and we're doing, we continue to do well in that regard. And we also discussed some things like food service. So that's one thing that is going to wind up being a challenge for us as we go forward, because apparently food service will be free again next year, and that will present some challenges in terms of what it means for our food service contracts. The food service is not something that is effectively district or taxpayer funded. It runs on its own. So, it's dependent in terms of revenues generated to do things like replace equipment as it gets worn out and such. So it presents some challenges. Beyond that, I just want to bring the attention, the acceptance of 2 donations, one from Cynthia Ricker to Timberlane Fitness Room for a treadmill, as well as Margaret Fowler to the high school auto body shop for a Toyota Avalon to be worked on. So again, the motion is for the board to approve acceptance of those donations, and we thank the generosity of Ms. Ricker and Ms. Fowler.
Thank you, Mr. Sawicki. Does anybody have any questions for Adam? Seeing none, I will ask all in favor of accepting or acknowledging and accepting the donations, please.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstaining? Motion carries. Thank you very much. Education program, Ms. Long.
Hi, can I have a motion and a second for the non-consent item?
Motion?
Second.
Okay, thank you. Then our non-consent item is a course approval for the toxology class, which is currently running as a half-year program, which we are approving to go to a full-year program starting in 2022. There's been interest in that. We also had a grading committee update where they have worked hard this year to get a single contract for Second Chance Learning that will be 6 through 12. It's going to hopefully make it more accessible and take down the barriers that some kids are having to do their Second Chance Learning. What else did they do? They are also making non-academic grading components not count towards marking periods. They can still ask for things like that on course, but they will not go towards their grades. And extra credit will not be on assignments or projects. They can add like an extra credit challenge question to homework if it's in context. Their goals for next year with their committee is to eliminate the weighting of AP and honors classes and to get consistency on grading policies per each department, through the departments. Next, we had a project proposal in physics. Miss Caruso Gilbert, I think I'm saying her name right. I'm going to butcher this because I'm not a physics person. They're working with Union Community College Drill Works program, and they're creating a presentation, this is with NASA, for a micro-G project, and their component is going to be to explore neutral buoyancy. She did do a nice presentation, which is going to be in board docs. I don't know if anyone has something to add to that. I don't know if I butchered it too much on what they're doing, but okay, good. Thank you, Adam. You were the one I was going to look to since you are the physicist in here. But it's a very cool project and a very cool opportunity for our kids, and she's working to create permissions with parents to let them be filmed, the students be filmed. And lastly, we had an update on the AAPI Heritage Month, which so far has gone very well. And I think we're looking to continue through the rest of the month and then expand it maybe into our curriculum going forward. That was it for EdCom.
Thank you, Jenny. Any questions for Jenny?
So can you give a little more info about the eliminating the weighting in AP and the reasoning behind that?
I don't have any more information. That was just one of their goals for next year. It's not something that's being done this year.
Okay. Okay. Oh, did you want to address that?
If you want me to jump in, I could just
Please,
tell you the
please.
rationale behind it.
Go ahead.
So that is something that's assigned by schools. So depending on the school, other high schools might add 5 points, where some add 3 points. And I think the question for us is, in looking into it, that's an arbitrary number. Where do we come up with it? And nobody really remembers why. The other thing is, once you go to college, they strip that weighting away anyway. So what it is doing is, for us, unequally weighting classes, and some kids feel that it's a detriment. Some feel it's a reason to take the upper level classes. So really diving into that and saying, if everything was equal and our goal is mastery, wouldn't it be great if kids just took the class because they wanted to take the class, and we gave, it's all part of our master plan to provide open access to our upper level classes. So wouldn't it be great if kids took the class for the mastery and for the challenge versus the extra 5 points? And that's all part of the fading out of salutarian and valedictorian too, because, these points get down into the 10, I think, what was it, 1/100th of a percentage that's separated to at one point. So really, is the goal to chase the number, or is the goal to chase the challenge? So.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any further questions? Seeing none, I will ask if we all in. Oh, it's a roll call vote. I'm sorry. Well, do I need? No, we already have a first and second. Okay.
Okay, Ms. Driver.
And should we reiterate, this is to approve the full-year toxicology class at the high school?
Correct. Ms. Driver.
Yes.
Ms. Grillo.
Yes.
Mr. Herbert.
Yes.
Ms. Long.
Yes.
Mr. Mason.
Yes.
Ms. O'Reilly.
Yes.
Mr. Sawicki.
Yes.
Ms. Williams-Galliano.
Yes.
Ms. Linthorst.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much. And thank you, Ms. Long. Moving on to personnel, and Ms. Grillo.
Can I have a motion to move the items on the personnel agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Okay, so we met just before tonight's meeting. We discussed the personnel appointments, of which we talked about earlier today with the retirements, as well as a couple other personnel appointments, including summer school staffing, kindergarten camp, and we've begun hiring for next year already, which is exciting. We also discussed updating job descriptions. So if you remember from last month's meeting, I talked about how we are updating the day and night custodian positions. So they are up for board approval. That's been done. So seeking your approval on that tonight. And then we will be discussing updating additional job descriptions, which we'll bring for next month's meeting for approval from the full board. And then lastly, we approved the MOA for the Director and Supervisors Association has been approved and signed. So that is in board docs for you guys to take a look at.
Any questions for Jess? Is that a roll call? Yes, so we'll proceed with a roll call vote, please.
Ms. Grillo.
Yes.
Mr. Herbert.
Yes.
Ms. Long.
Yes.
Mr. Mason.
Yes.
Ms. O'Reilly.
Yes.
Mr. Sawicki.
Yes.
Ms. Williams-Galliano.
Yes.
Ms. Driver.
Yes.
Ms. Linthorst.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much. And we have Mr. Mason with Community Relations, please.
Yes, thank you. We met last Thursday. Went over a couple things real fast. One, the website redesign that's going on. We got a little sneak preview. We're definitely trying to make it a lot more user-friendly. I will say, be on the lookout. I know there's so many surveys going out, but it's really important to answer these surveys, look at it. It really helps with what we're trying to do. We're trying to make the website as user-friendly as possible. We briefly went over, we discussed last year with the streaming with the athletics. We're looking to continue that. We're going to discuss it further, but there's a discussion of whether we should go to an outside company to come in, possibly have parents pay the benefits of that compared to doing it in-house and having the students do it. We're in that. We're gonna discuss that more. Be on the lookout. There's going to be an update for September going out soon from Tom. Just everyone be on the lookout for that. And also, as far as I guess it falls under community relations, but I want to take a second to thank the search committee. Quite frankly, they're making my job easy as far as that goes with keeping everyone up to date with how that's going and the hard work they're putting in. It really, seriously, thank you. It's a lot you're taking on top of everything else that you have going on. And me personally, it's really amazing what you're doing, so thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mason. Any questions for John? Seeing none, we will move on to our resident parliamentarian, Mr. Herbert, who, by the way, has made everyone else step up with their parliamentary procedure because you've impressed us so.
Uh-oh. All right, so thank you. Let's see. We met last Wednesday to discuss 6 revisions to 6 different policies. However, I'm going to request a motion for 5 of these policies that are listed here to be approved for first reading. And I apologize, Bob. The one that is not being asked for first reading is P2431, athletic competition. That one has some elements of the homeschooling in it that we discussed last meeting, and we said we were going to talk about further at a subsequent full board meeting. So can I have a motion to approve those other 5 policies and regs for first reading?
So moved.
Okay, thank you. So the policies that we're talking about, the first one is the student records, which the changes for this include the right for non-adult students to request access to their records through the parents, and also for military recruiters to be provided the same access to student information directory that's provided to other recruiters. The second one is the school day policy. The changes to this one require the board to annually approve the starting and ending time for school days, including shortened days, and the policy has now become mandatory. The third one is the school closings policy, which has been updated to reflect more, that's a regulation. That's been updated to reflect more current practices of communicating school closings and early dismissals. And, no more listening to the radio and hoping you hear your school's number called out. The next one is reporting potentially missing or abused children. Changes to this one incorporate requirements from a new law which specifies the manner in which information for reporting missing or abused children is displayed in the schools. And then finally, the emergency procedures for sports and other activities. And the changes of this are to comply with a new law passed during the school year and outlining all the requirements for procedures that have to be in place for all activities, including athletic activities. So with that, I believe we can conduct a voice vote. Any questions or comments on those policies, regulations, changes? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, so that passes. Next, I'd like to request a motion to approve for second reading the other 4 policies and regulations that are listed. And for these, we will need a roll call vote. Mr. Calavita?
Need a motion first.
Oh, we need a motion too. Darn it. See? You jinxed me. Okay, I'd like to have a motion to approve these 4 policies for second reading.
Motion.
Thank you. Mr. Calavita.
Okay. Mr. Herbert?
Yes.
Ms. Long? Yes. Mr. Mason?
Yes.
Ms. O'Reilly? Yes. Mr. Sawicki?
Yes.
Ms. Williams-Galliano?
Yes.
Ms. Driver?
Yes.
Ms. Grillo?
Yes.
Ms. Linthorst?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. And thank
Okay,
you, Mr.
thank you.
Herbert. Appreciate it. Okay. We have calendars.
Motion?
Like to request a motion to accept the calendar for, what was it, for both May and June? We have to still make the June meeting. Yes, for May and for June, please. Motion, please.
Second.
Okay, so discussion. June, do we want to begin with?
14th?
14? Okay.
5 o'clock?
Finance, yep.
Okay, Finance, June 14th at 5 o'clock.
Okay, thank you.
Wait, hold up, Bill.
No good?
Check.
I also look at
Speedy there.
Yeah, that was fast. June 14th. Oh, that's a Monday. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. No, that's not good.
I'm sorry.
Interviews at that.
Oh.
No.
No good?
Not
I
certain
can't
yet,
do-
but
no.
we could still do it.
I can't do that Monday or Tuesday.
Okay. We can do Wednesday? Want to do Wednesday?
I can do Wednesday.
Everybody?
Wednesday?
5 o'clock?
Yep. Okay.
All right. Ed program. So we already said this morning, right, we're 3 o'clock?
3 o'clock
Okay, thank you. Personnel would be on June, oh, I'm sorry,
21st?
June 21st,
Yep.
6:15.
Yep.
What was that one?
June 21st at 6:15
Ed
for
com-
personnel.
Personnel.
Community relations. Is that a crazy day before graduation, or is that okay? Is it? Okay.
16th at 3?
At 3? 3:30? We've been doing 3:30. 3:30, please. Policy.
Can we do it the week of the 7th, one of those nights, maybe Wednesday, maybe, the 9th?
Could do Wednesday, other policy?
Okay. Well, I know we usually do it at 6. Is that good for everyone?
6?
6? Okay.
June 9th at 6?
And that's it, right? That's all she wrote. Okay, thank you. Oh, all in favor of accepting the calendars, please.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstaining? The motion carries. We do have one item under new business, and that is that I wanted to share that the deadline for filing for nominating petitions to run for positions on the Board of Education is 4 p.m. on Monday, July 26th. I don't think it's 2001, 2021. And that would be, the spots that will be open are 2 spots, 2 3-year terms for Hopewell Township, and 1 3-year term for Pennington Borough. And then those would be on the annual school election ballot on November 2nd. The details for the requirements and so forth and for how to go about the process are contained in the agenda. You could also reach out to the business office if you have any questions in that regard.
We do have the board candidate packets in the office, so anybody who wants to request one can do so from my office.
Thank you very much, Mr. Calavita. Any other items of new business? We will open up our second public comment session. Members of the public are invited to address the board on any matter for a maximum of 3 minutes during this portion of the meeting. When using Zoom, individuals may use the hand raise notification to alert the board president of your intent to speak. The secretary will activate your ability to speak by unmuting you. You're asked to state your name, address, and municipality. In response to your comments, the board may respond or direct the superintendent to do so. The board may also opt to take the matter up at a future meeting so that the matter is researched by district administration. You may also use the Google form, and I don't believe we have anyone in the public right now in person. Public comment is now open. No hands
I don't see anything in the form.
and no forms. Going once, going twice. Public comment is now closed. I will request a motion to enter into executive session. We will be discussing a special education matter and a harassment, intimidating, and bullying matter, as well as the superintendent search. No action will be taken. Motion, please. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, abstaining? Motion carries. Thank you. Stretch. So we're going to move next door?
Correct.